It's God who prospers. Lift your hands to Him. Lift your hands to Him. Lift your hands to Him, my beloved. Lift your hands to Him. It's God. You come and meet me personally. I will tell you how I lived. My beloved, God is faithful. Jesus is faithful. Today, this afternoon, I want to tell you, because you all are great people of God. Who am I? Nothing, just unworthy. We got a sudden call. There was a world-renowned prophet passing through Dubai. He is one of the advisors to the President of United States. And he was invited by the Malaysian government on some various. He is a powerful prophet of God. You know, prophets always meet kings. They have a message, they have words. So he had just finished being with the Malaysian president and government and had some ministry in Australia and Malaysia and wherever. And he was passing through Dubai. A call came. He was desperate. He wanted to meet me. And I had to rush just in time. He was at one of the leading hotels here. His flight was at 4:15 or 4:30. I just rushed there at 3:15 because he said, I cannot and I must not leave this. He was just passing few hours through Dubai. I must meet this man of God. I went. I was honestly frightened. I was honestly, God, prophets means you get really frightened, not some who jabber whatever they want. Oh, my beloved. I said, God, who am I? Who am I, God? Who am I? Cleanse me. I just went. He was there waiting. He was seated in the lounge, speaking in tongues, to be very honest, closing his eyes and speaking in tongues. I just went near him. I said, Sir. He looked at me, he got up and he hugged me, and then we sat and spoke. 1 hour before I went, the Honorable Highness Sheikh, one of the Sheikhs was with him. And he wanted to drop him at the airport. And he said, no, I have a friend whom I must meet here. The Sheikh had asked him, who is that friend? So he had mentioned my name and the church. And I don't know what. Sheikh had told him, we know this man very well. My beloved, and he was waiting for me. He discussed a lot of things that God is about to do in this nation. My beloved, it is Jesus. Who am I? Who am I? I came to my dear wife and I was saying, God, every time I want always to be 3 steps behind of anything. But why, God, you push me in front? I don't know myself. He wants me to be more purer, more like Him, beloved. My child of God, my child of God. And he left the country because he was telling everywhere I go to many places, people who don't know you, who don't know the color of you, say, you must get to Dubai and meet this man of God. So he said, I didn't know you. I wanted to come and see you and meet you. I said, I don't know anything, sir. Just remember me in prayer, that's all. He spoke words of God, which encouraged me, comforted me, cleansed me. And he left. God is about to do something great in all our lives, beloved. We must be honest people, honest reputation. I tell you, my beloved, so don't exaggerate anything, don't lie, don't have misleading impression. You know, misleading impressions, what it is? Have the computer screen on and run to talk to your friend in the canteen. So when the boss comes, it's in a good program. In Sri Lanka, those days, how they do, we have the fountain pens. They open the fountain pen and keep it open and they are out of the office. And the poor old boss comes and says, oh, he must be just somewhere there. I tell you, misleading impression. Pens open, computer screen in the lovely cash flow program, but talking and conning with a friend over the phone somewhere. Briefcase open, or briefcase just half open on the table, man missing for the whole day. I tell you, my beloved, misleading impression in offices. And then you say, why my bonus has not come? Why my bonus? Get lost, I tell you. Why your bonus? God is watching. Who sanctions the bonus? It is Him. Lift your hands to Him. Lift your hands to Him. He loves you, beloved. He loves you. He loves you, my dear ones. He loves you. So misleading impressions are very important. He loves you, my dear ones. He loves you. So misleading impressions are very important. My beloved, you 5 prizes are given, 10 prizes are given now. My beloved, you don't do anything to get that order. It is a race. My beloved, now coming to something important. It is a race. You have to run the race fast. And you have to run the race righteously, my beloved, to win the tender, to win the order. 2 Corinthians 9th chapter verse number 8, Philippians 4th chapter verse number 13. You do nothing else but run the race fast by your hard, honest work, by prayer, before you submit your price to your client or your customer. Don't think what he likes and what you have to give him. My beloved, pray, 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 my beloved. Run the race righteously. Run the race fast. You will win the race, my beloved. I tell you, my beloved, I tell you, it is important. Every quotation that you make, every tender that I tell you, pray over it. Pray over it. Don't step in, because I tell you, my beloved, I have done it all. That's why I can boldly tell you, my beloved, pray, 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 my beloved, pray. I tell you, nothing, everything works when God moves in answer to your prayer. Oh, my beloved, don't think, oh, they give money, that's why they're getting the order. No, that's not your concern. My child, you are called to work righteously and to win the race righteously. 2 Corinthians 9th chapter verse number 8. How I always read that. First Philippians 4 verse number 13. My beloved, it's very, very important. You must earn the trust of your employer, of your employees, of your suppliers, of your dealers, of your clients. You must, that's honesty, I tell you, you must earn the trust. I tell you, it must be a trust, faithful relationship. Coming next, hard work, consistent work, steadfast work. Not when the boss opens his door and comes out that you get a jerk somewhere and you tap anything on the machine, tuck, tuck, tuck. As he passes by, then look at your colleague and then start talking about something. And the best topic is your pastor, I tell you. He's the easy found topic. Poor old man. My beloved, consistent, not face pleasers. Once you get on your chair in the morning with prayer and thanksgiving and praising God, I tell you, not face pleasers. Hard work, Proverbs 6th chapter. If you read from 6 to 11, Proverbs 6th chapter, verse 6 to 11, Proverbs 22, verse number 29, Proverbs 22, verse number 29, Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 11. Hard work, consistent, steadfast work. Never be a lazy fellow, my beloved. Punch someone next to you and say, don't be lazy. Not face pleasers. Don't hit my wife, I dare not. You know, I'm learning boxing, seeing Rocky now. My beloved, hard work, consistent, steadfast, not lazy, face pleasers, my beloved. Very important. Bribe not. It's coming back again. Bribe not. Cheat not. Don't deprive someone, a more deserving person. That's a bribe. Depriving someone, a more deserving person. Maybe your quotation is higher than the competitor. He deserves it. Don't take it off by cheating, by bribing. Don't buy him off. I'll come to that because your bosses press you to do that. I'll come to that, how to get over it. My beloved, a poor and an orphan and a widow and a destitute and an oppressed one should not be deprived of their justified favor. My beloved, bribe not, cheat not. And I will come to that again, how to stand in line with God's word, but also in favor in your office. My beloved, you must be on time to your workplace. Honor your employer and your workplace. Don't sneak through I tell you, before I was born again, I always had a special door open for me when I was working in Sri Lanka. I go at 10 o'clock. That was before I came to the Lord. Tell to the other person, that's the truth. Huh? Oh, they call me Ratrang Matya, and they'll have the sneaky doors open for me always. Those who know Sinhala, you will know it. And I will go at 10 o'clock to office. That is abominable. I cry that I did all these things. But thank God I did it in ignorance, and His mercy saved me. My beloved, today, you loving children, you beloved ones, you must go on time. That's how you honor your employer and your workplace. That's an honor that you show to your employer and your workplace. My beloved, it's very important. Devote your work full time. Why I am saying full time? I touched this earlier. Embracing your work, devote your work full time. Give all of you into your work, all of yours into your work, because your work honestly is a worship unto God, my beloved. So give all of you, all of yours into your work during the working hours. Go the second mile. Do extra work. Not to impress, not for any financial benefit, but to improve and bless your office, my beloved. My child of God, not for any financial gain, not for any face impression. Work hard, work longer, go the second mile, because you want to bless your office and to improve your office. How many of you will do that? Not during a Sunday night, I tell you, beloved, or a Tuesday night. No. My child of God, these are important. These are important. These are important, my beloved. Submission. 1 Peter 2nd chapter, verses to 13 to 19. Your submission. Oh, that's a beautiful verse. 1 Peter 2nd chapter, verse 13 to 19. 13 to 19, my beloved. Submitting to authorities again. Submission. Submission is very important. Never feel insecure in your workplace. That's what makes you very unstable. That's what makes you restless. That's what makes you just want to change it, because you are insecure within you. There are unmet, I would say still unsatisfied motives and unsatisfied needs in your life. Unmet, unsatisfied, unfulfilled desires within you, my beloved ones. That's what makes you insecure. But remember and believe that God has put you there. And God wants to fulfill His purpose and reveal Christ through you. My beloved, don't ever feel insecure. That's why again I touched listening to someone else's telephone conversation in office. And then I tell you, I told this last time before you went. Lifting the phone and then listening to someone then say, I heard all what she talks about me. Really, God only revealed to me. Oh, God is not a gossip, I tell you. God is not a peeping Tom or whatever you call. Eavesdropper. God is a gentleman. Lift your hands to Him. I tell you, my beloved, secretly entering into others' computers, trying to manipulate passwords. My darling children, I know you don't do it, but don't ever do it. My beloved, having people to inform you, you call them pimps. My beloved, about what's happening in a department, managers. These are all managers. You have one of your catchers there to inform you about what's happening, what they are talking about to you in workplaces. Don't ever do that, my beloved. Let us be guileless and innocent and honest in our workplace. My beloved, just to make our position secure. I tell you, my beloved, don't form impressions and opinions about your bosses. that he is like this, he is like that. Let him be anything, my beloved. But know your calling and your anointing and the purpose of God in that place for you, beloved. You are the king, you are the light and the salt. Don't work to your low because your boss is this, your boss is that, my beloved. My child of God, don't feel insecure. Don't entertain the spirit of insecurity that will make you indulge into various other dishonest practices to make yourself secure there in that office. My child of God, I still remember I had a very lovely boss. One of our foremen came and told him one day, many years ago, 20 years ago, I believe. He told my boss, I was in the room with him, seated with him. This fellow came, the supervisor came and said, "Sir, my salary has not been increased for so many years. I've been working like this, But those who joined later, so they have been taken on a higher this thing. Whereas I joined early on a lower scale, but I have not come up. Still, I'm struggling. I'm still below them who joined recently on a higher scale." That is, you can understand that with wisdom why they do that. But this fellow was coming and complaining, "Sir, now do something for my salary. Be fair." So my boss said, a lovely Englishman, he said, "I can do one thing. I can reduce the salaries of all your colleagues. Shall I do that? So that all will become one." He said, No, so they will beat me up in the camp," they said. He said, "What can I? You wanted me to be fair. That's all I can do. I can't lift yours, I can bring theirs down. If you agree." So this fellow ran away from the room, my beloved. Just a humor, but this is how our attitude should be, my beloved children of God. Don't feel insecure at all, my children. And working the 3 months probation, you are on time, you are working hard, but after the permanent letter comes, I tell you, my beloved, it is all over. My child of God, this is what we do. 3 months probation, you won't even to answer your mommy's call. But after the probation is over, I tell you, you will answer every Tom, Dick, and Harry's call. My child of God, don't work like that, my darling children. Honest work, my beloved. Honest work. Because these are practical things that will help you, beloved children of God. Your love in the office coming to something very, 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 very important. You must be very genuine and a forgiving attitude. Because your neighbor is your colleague and your friend and your subordinate and your boss is your neighbor, my beloved. Love your neighbor as how I have loved you, Jesus said. Don't ignore people. I tell you, that's a common practice. Don't ignore them because you are someone. Don't ignore them because you don't like their face. Don't ignore them because you don't like their smile. Don't ignore them because you don't like their guts, I tell you, my beloved. Who are you? You are the ambassador of Jesus Christ. Oh, my beloved, when I was working, there are a few examples I remembered, but I'm not telling you everything. My child of God, there were lovely believers in our office, some of them very strong believers, extremely so strong, better than me, I would say. And children of God, when the festivals of this country comes and things like that, of course the PRO and the rest of the people of this country, religion and all that, so that I would go and hug them and kiss them, and they would kiss me here, there, everywhere, and joke with them, talk with them, and I will eat their food, and they will invite me, my children of God. And these dear, precious, lovely Christian believers, they used to be very upset with me. And they said, "You just should not be doing that. You should not be yoked unequally with them." My beloved child of God, I just used to smile at them and carry on with what I am doing because I know who is in me. And whenever there is an issue, those fellows will all come to me for prayer, beloved. They will all come to me, and I had so much of favor in that office because of who I am and who I am. It's because of He who is in me. My beloved, don't ignore someone. Don't put a high puff and walk around that you are someone. Or I tell you, my beloved, meet everyone, greet them as much as possible, irrespective of their religious, cultural, ethnic beliefs. I tell you, my beloved, bless them, because the one whom you are blessing with is Jesus Christ of Nazareth, my beloved. So greet your colleagues, your friends, your subordinates, and I tell you, your sacrificial love, your genuine forgiving love. Don't ever envy. Don't ever be jealous. Don't ever laugh at the mistakes of others. Don't hurt others in offices. Be ye perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. It's very important, this ingredient of a forgiving love, a sacrificial love in office. I tell you, my beloved, you are the king. You are the light and the salt. You are called to prosper. You are called to prosper in the place where you have been placed. You are called to bloom and blossom in the place where you have been based, my beloved. You must have a forgiving love. Never ignore anyone, however rude they could be to you, however unjust they could be to you, because you are the environment changer. You are the people changer. Those who change the world have come here also, they told about Paul. Oh, my beloved, it's your love. It's your love. My child of God, it's very, very, very important, this kind of love. My child, don't deprive another man's position by your attitude. Don't I remember still because it's good to tell, because I did nothing of my own, but because of His grace. There was a Muslim person working with me. He was an engineer. And that dear lovely man found it very difficult to read drawings. And, something, I don't know, poor man, he was working with me. He was in the next table. And the management was trying their best to harass him, because that dear man, and I used to help him out in every way, my children of God. And one day my general manager got so annoyed with me. He pulled me up from my table and he said, "Come here, you." That's how they call the British, lovely people. So he came, peeped his nose through the window and said, "You come here." So I thought, finished today. My God, I opened the door and said, "Come here, you," he said. That's how he called me. So I went like a dog behind him. I tell you, sometimes dogs are good, huh? I tell you, my beloved. Then he pinned me on the wall and he said, I was shocked what he told me. "You will never say bad about anyone." Why is that? I tell you, I was shocked. He was a general manager. And he was a big one. So I said, I just smiled. He said, "I know, you will never say bad about anyone. Because of you, we just can't get," he used a different word, which many of you like it sometimes. We just can't get that fellow out of this office because of you. Then he patted me on the back and said, "You are a good man." Just went off. My beloved, I thank God I was able to help that man. I used to talk about his family. He was struggling, my beloved. Poor man. But I tell you, my beloved, today I am where I am because I did something little that God loves, my beloved. Do that and you will be great in the sight of Jesus. My child of God, help to bless someone and lift someone. Don't laugh at someone's mistakes. "Oh, he doesn't know anything. Oh, I know everything. I'll knock this fellow off and get my uncle's son who can come. Then after 2 years, we can both start a restaurant here. And we can do a lot of business. Get this fellow off. And tell him about your boss. Tell him to your boss and some or other get him packed up home." Oh, I tell you. And then come to church. "We worship you." Swing also comes from left to right. Give you one of these days, sir. I tell you, lovely people, huh? I tell you, my beloved ones, my darling children, you and I are called to be very simple little children. No guile. Even if you make a mistake, no guile. Just go. God is with you and me, my beloved ones. So we must be very honest. We must lift up people. Bless them up. Lift them up, my beloved. Even your enemies. It's when you lift your enemies. That's where the blessing is. That's where the blessing is, my beloved. Always, managers, executives, always, I know you have some leadership traits in you. Encourage your people, commend them, appreciate them, reward them. My beloved, you must always have a quality supervisor-subordinate relationship that increases efficiency and that increases the output. My beloved, coming to something important, don't retaliate for unfair treatment.